Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. I am one of the instructors on staff for the Adult Fast Track program. This is a quick overview for Introduction to Business. First of all, I want to welcome you to this new journey that you're going forward. If you have a chance, look at my bio. I think it's like 5 minutes. It tells you a little bit about myself and how my journey maybe starts the same way like yours. I'm a non-traditional student. I did not go right after college, after high school and go to school. I took a different path. I was in the military, and I'll explain that on that. But we all take different paths. So I'm a non-traditional student. All my classes were in the evenings, similar to you're taking it. I did have some apprehension about going back to college. I wasn't the best student in high school, but I started a community college. The staff here at Harper are here to help you. Maggie is a great source of inspiration, not only for the cohorts that are beginning here, but also for the faculty. Enough of that. Just again, welcome, and you'll run into me. I teach a variety of classes: organizational behavior, HR, management, marketing, finance once in a while. All right, so let's talk about the introduction to business. I utilize our Management 111. I utilize concept maps. Concept map is another way of taking information and talking about it or taking notes. Instead of going linear, just go straight down, I go this way. I could jump all over. If you look at the concept map in front of you right now, I have this in here. This is what this is what the whole course is about. It's broken down in different sections, and I will explain the different sections going through there. I will also show you a one of my syllabi, a generic syllabi. So when you're looking at my syllabi or other instructors' syllabi, you exactly know what to get at. A lot of times to look at my syllabi, and I'll talk about that later. Let's go on into what this class is about. The first thing you want to know about this course is, and remember, when you look at that, all my learning and experience, both going to school, teaching, and working in a corporate and as an independent consultant, all it comes down to one thing: is how do I take this knowledge and able to utilize it now? Most business people are not theorists. That means we're looking in the future. We look at the theory and see how we could apply it. Most business are practitioners. I take this knowledge, and most of you are coming in here, the accelerated program that Harper has, it will work out well for you. Trust me, we'll guide you through it. We've been trained through the program how to chunk the information that you'll be able to absorb it and actually retain it so you could utilize it. Again, a practitioner, what I learn now, I have to apply it within the next 6 months or a year. No longer than that. Now, I'm not looking at the future. I have to change the company around. I have to do something. I either have to change the culture of the organization. I have to bring in more people. I want you to basically get a feel of what it's like to be a business owner. And this, okay, so you will basically do a project for me as a group. It's a cohort. You work together as a group, just like you would in business. You work together in a smaller group. Now, because of what's going on with the environment and the pandemic and everything else, you have to basically be able to virtually talk to people. If you look in my office, right, this is my home office. I came out of corporate. A lot of stuff I have, it was given to me when I was in the corporate. I just, not as large in there, but still workable. But when I do these Zoom meetings or I do a WebEx meeting, I say, hey, I think I'm doing real good. I learn how to talk to people, looking at you like this. This is part of having a virtual classroom. Just same way like you would be in the business world and you have a virtual meeting. So anyway, I get rated in some of my other meetings said, I only got a 9 out of 10 for my background. You got to have a picture, you have a plant. I had a plant, the plant was dead. That plant no good. So remember, this tells you a little bit about yourself. Because when you come in, you get the nonverbal cues. When you're just doing strictly reading and emails, I'm saying emails, and people get the wrong impression. I don't come across right. You may not be able to touch me, you may not not able to be in that proximity, but you can see my nonverbal communications, and that's something you learn. All right, so let's go into the methods. Here's what everyone wants to look at. I left that up there. Now I've got this concept map, and I have this large enough where you could see it. So if you're looking at it, I provide concept maps for all my lectures. We'll have a weekly discussion that's in the discussion board, just like you'd be doing email or something else, talking at a professional level. That's what you're learning here, all right? And that's 13% of your grade. Remember, it all adds up to 100%. We have in this class here, we have a weekly Blackboard Collaborate virtual classroom. I will do it through Blackboard Collaborate. What I want to do, because this Introduction to Business class is a survey class. A survey class is like a smorgasbord. You touch a little bit of every discipline, but all businesses operate under all these different functionalities, disciplines, marketing, advertising, HR, whatever. So you have to be able to understand how the whole, your little part fits in the whole. And so this is basically the beginning, and then as you take all the other classes and advancing degrees, or go to your bachelor's or your master's, just like I started, you will do well. Okay, so all right, so you have these virtual classrooms. Now, the fast track program, normally you would meet on a certain date. I picked this one Thursday. Let's say if you're in a fully virtual classroom, you would meet on a Thursday from 6 to 10 o'clock. Sometimes now, because of technology changes. COVID-19 changed how people interact. So now I could basically say, instead of meeting for 4 hours, we'll have face-to-face, so you could meet me, and we could have a virtual classroom the next time. I could alternate. It gives me the flexibility. But then how do I talk and communicate? All right? So Thursdays from 6 to 8 o'clock, you'll see the time. I'll show you myself. It depends on the instructor. My responsibility for your first course is to expose you to Blackboard Collaborate, WebEx, and we may do one of these in WebEx, Office 365 that you get for free. And remember, in business, I'll tell you, there's nothing for free. Someone's paying us, a business account or something else. You're paying all your student activity, whatever. Okay, so you'll have that. You'll have all the tools you need. So if you take another instructor, how do I take a test online? How do I use this in Blackboard? You will at least be exposed. You're not going to be an expert, but you will be exposed to it. And same thing with the material. You will take marketing, a full 6 weeks of marketing, just dedicated to that. You'll take principles of management, organizational behavior. All those classes are just a little bit, and then you're learning, and you keep on learning. It's like learning a new language in business. And remember, when you take accounting is the language of business because it's about the money. Okay, so you have that. So you will be required in my courses either face-to-face, or you can have a virtual classroom using, in this case, I'm going to use Blackboard Collaborate, but I will throw in WebEx so you know how it is. And in the corporate, you use WebEx and Zoom. Remember, you have your private WebEx and Zoom, and then you have your corporate WebEx and Zoom. Okay, my lab, there's the software. You got to buy the software. It comes with the book. You could buy it with Harper Bookstore. I have the link in my syllabi. If you're going in on that, it's 21%. You can't pass the class without the book. It has videos. It has tests. It has a lot of information for you. You're going to have 5 exams. There's no final exam, so you do like the first 3 chapters. You'll be quizzing. You do some work. The publisher gives you software. You learn. You have PowerPoints. You have mind maps and everything else. The whole thing. You say, but how can I learn all that? You could learn. If this is your job, you're learning. All I'm doing is planting the seeds. They say I'm a teacher. I'm a facilitator. I'm planting the seeds, and those seeds I water, or my colleagues water, by the time you get your degree here or certificate from the Adult Fast Track. It's geared for people who are working, so you could. I'm preaching to the choir. You already know that, all right? So you have your, you're going to do a group project, a virtual, I'm going to do breakout rooms in a group. I know it's a short time. The first week we talk and we move it. Remember, this is similar to what I teach, an 8-week online class, only you're doing it in 6 weeks or a little bit, or maybe even the same amount. Depends on the course and the time they have for this cohort, okay? You have a PowerPoint narrative, or you're going to do a presentation within the class with a video, and you're going to learn how to do it. What I'm trying to do is utilize Microsoft Office. That's what all businesses do. So when you leave here, Harper College already has you that ability. So when you're doing your word processing, it's Microsoft Word. You're doing your Excel. You're doing Access. Those are all the tools I need in business. They're preparing you. When I hire just an administrative secretary, that's the person who answers the phones and does a lot of other stuff than administrative assistant. I'm sorry, my error. Okay, I'm old. It takes me a little time. All right. So when I hire that person, I want them to know Microsoft Word, Office, PowerPoint. You don't have to be an expert, but those are the things because I could integrate everything else, and all businesses utilize it. So Harper's already preparing you for that. So you're going to have a narrative. You're going to have a group. You're going to present a presentation. My online classes, they basically present a presentation in 8 weeks, and they'll do a PowerPoint like I'm doing now, and they'll either do audio or they'll do with their like this little small caption you have in this one. All right, and then you have individual blackboards. That's the whole class. So this is what the things you're going to talk about. The business. I'm just opening up. I'm not going through all of these. Environmental, understanding business ethics, entrepreneurship, business ownership. If you look at my syllabus, my consulting business is LLC, a limited liability. Why? I could have been an S corporation. I could have been sole proprietor, but it depends on the liability. I don't want to get sued. How do I protect myself? That's what you're learning. That's what you can learn, how to protect yourself as a business owner or a manager for your company. If you're a manager for the company, you're protecting the assets and the brand of the company. Okay, managing the business, again, who's going to make it run? Corporations, all this, managing the business. But these are all chapters. Okay, so yeah, for some reason chapter 6 and 7 they eliminated because of this condensed version. That's fine. I'll talk about it in there. If you notice I talk quick, stop me, record me. All right, and I'm doing this early in the morning. A lot of my recordings are at nighttime. I'm a little slower, so you could do it. I'm trying to get it under 20 minutes to give me a time limit. All right. So employee behavior, motivation, leadership, decision, human relationship, and labor relationship. There's a course here, I think, if I'm looking at I'll just look at this sheet. Remember, you have your, this is for a certificate, this is for an HR one. Randomly, I picked one out here, and they basically have sprint principle. You're taking this class first, organizational behavior. How do you change the culture? You have to understand the culture. This organizational behavior is important for HR, but it's also important for marketing. I understand it, because remember, there's two types of things when you're going to learn it in marketing. Let me flip it over here. Oops, sorry. I got to make sure you see it. Building relationship. Okay, marketing. There's two things you have to learn. There's consumer marketing and business-to-business marketing. My background is business-to-business marketing. So but to help my clients, my customers, I have to understand their base. I'm a resource to them. So when I come in there, hey, I'm selling to you a lot of product, but here's what your clients do. Here's what the demographics you're in. Here's what I think is going to sell for you. You still have to make that decision on your own. You're just taking my recommendations. Okay, so you have that. Developing pricing, how much you price. And look at this marketing is how do I brand myself. I am basically a service provider to the employer. I'm an agent here, or contractor, whatever you want to call, for Harper College. I have the same requirements. Look, I came in a business. And you wouldn't know the difference with the ID card or anything else because I'm working for the company. The company makes sure I have the same qualifications, everything else the first time, but they don't want to. They want to keep the costs down. They have their peaks and valleys, so they have individuals that move. That's what you're going to learn in marketing. That's what you're going to learn about business. That's what you're going to learn about financing. And finance. Okay, so you have that. You got technology, role of accounting, and then you have understanding business, banking. And it's about the money. You're going to have accounting classes and everything else, and then you're going to come. And I'm going to talk a little bit about finance. Quick overview. And then you have appendix, this other stuff in the ebook, and so we're good on that. Now I'm going to just show you a real quick syllabi. My syllabi. Let me open this up. And okay, so here's my syllabi. You're going to have at Harper College, and most of the instructors may not put their face in there. I like to do this because I'm a marketer. Remember, and this is technology. You want to see who you're talking to. Okay, so you, and here is adult fast tracks, and these basically is the code you have in there. It tells you it's a recorded virtual class, so that means you will come to class from 6 to 8 o'clock. You have to have a minimum web camera. That's expensive. You're paying for the class. It's $10 for you go to Walmart, Target. You know, I'm not trying to say, even a dollar store has things. You don't need a good camera. I have one here. I do some recording or podcasting or YouTubing with clients. I have a better one. But you see this one? This one, oops, sorry. I have this privacy issue. This here, there we go. This here, basically, I think it's $15. Amazon, you can even find them. They're not that expensive. You can write it off on your tax, and you'll find that out from your accounting class, all right? So you have this, you have the starting date, you have the discussion. Let's go to the book. I want you to see the book. Usually when you're in this thing, here's the book that you're going to need, the Business Essentials. You could purchase a book from Harper Bookstore. I have the links in my when you take my class, and you'll have, but you need the Pearson's access code. Be careful. I've been doing this for a while. Had students trying to, I know you're trying to look for the cost to minimize the cost. That's what I would do. That's business. How do I get the same product and minimize the cost so I have a higher probability? Terms and concepts. So when I'm looking at this, when someone want to rent it, it's a little cheaper. Okay, you rent it, but it says passcode provided. But then they have a small little thing. Doesn't guarantee it's going to work. Once it's used, it's done. Buy it, don't have any problems. You don't need a book. You can do it with the ebook. A lot of students, even at my age or younger, or Generation Y, X, and Z, I forget, I got all the alphabets in there. They basically, it's easy. You get the information, you have everything else, and you have the passcode to get into the software. I think I covered everything I wanted to, let's see. So you go in here, this is the same thing I covered in there. I think I have everything in here. Are we good? Academic policy. A lot of this stuff, when you see the blue, there's a link, and you will have that in there. These are all good sites. Harper College, Maggie, the Adult Fast Track, they will support you. Trust me, you're not alone. You're going in a cohort. You come in with a group of individuals that you don't know, just like in business. They're coming in a team, and you're part of the team. How do I work with different personalities? Hey, Harper is good because it's very diversified. You name it, you have all different ethnicity, cultures, age group, veterans. I'm a vet, just you notice I got the Army. Yeah, but that's what makes us whole. That's what makes Harper so strong, and that's what makes us so. You learn from everybody else. Okay, so you have that, and then you have here's the lectures. It tells you what's required to attend. I bring this all up. This is syllabus. This is usually what students want. They'll have the date, the ending date. And I think that's all I have on here. Again, welcome to this orientation. You'll have myself, there's another instructor. And when you look at, well, Dr. George does this, and Dr. So-and-so does this. And remember, if you do everything the same, how do you learn? You learn from different people. When I look at the news, I look at the Democrats, I look at the Republicans, I look at the liberals, I look at the social, and I try to get all these ideas. So I say, oh, I like this, I don't like this, and that's how you learn. So then you can make your own decision. So again, welcome to this class. I'm Dr. George Mochocki, and I'll enjoy seeing you, and you'll learn a lot of the class. Don't be nervous. You'll do very well. We're very supportive here. Bye. Oh, 17 minutes. I looked at the time. They gave me 20 minutes for this. I could have done it a little longer, but that's fine. Remember, I don't edit. I wanted to make this personal to you, just like I would be in the classroom. Stay safe.